Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Surprise Thursday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you the PowerCon exclusive Valaverse Action Force Swarm Horde Trooper. Let's get into it! Let's start things off with a look at the packaging. And here we have on the top Action Force, and then you can see the honeycomb in red there behind it. Valaverse. Warning! Don't stick things in your pie hole that do not belong there. A little sliver of a window. And taking a look at the front, nice big window showcasing the figure and his accessories. Valaverse Swarm Horde Action Force 14 and up. On the bottom, Action Force, some small fine and legalese print. And who designed the packaging art, and of course, who created Action Force, Bobby Vala. Don't give it to babies. Valaverse. Products and colors may vary. Barcode made in China print. And on this side, we've got some nice artwork of the Swarm Horde. And I don't know if I should call him Trooper or not. It just says Swarm Horde here, but to me, he's a Trooper. So, and then here's the other half of that nice artwork of the Swarm Horde Trooper guy. And on the back, Action Force. Nice product shots, and I'm assuming they're actual photographs and not digital renders. I don't know that for sure, but again, that's what I'm assuming, so I'm probably just made a you-know-what out of you and me. And then we have the combat profile. Follow Valaverse on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Valaverse.com. Scan this! Valaverse. Cut and save action points for future promotions. Action Force. Action points 5. Now, let's get back to the combat profile. Swarm Horde, file name unknown, primary MOS, special forces, secondary skills, covert ops, and intelligence, birthplace, various, rank or affiliation, rank is unknown, and they belong to the Swarm. There is currently no living soul that has seen a Swarm Horde trooper. See, I was right, they are troopers. They are a myth to even the most elite tactical operatives. The rumor is that the Swarm Horde are used for the most covert assassination missions. Many political members of rebelling republics have been killed by unknown means, making the assumption that the Swarm Horde were to blame. Their tech is so far advanced that there is never a sign of any ballistics, images, videos, or electronic signatures. With each mission carried out by the Swarm Horde, their tactical advantage grows, along with the fear of their very existence. Hopefully that wasn't too dramatic of a reading. But there we go, my friends. That is a look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and his accessories. And first of all, here we have handy dandy tweezers. We'll take a look at the accessories. We'll start with the small stuff first. He comes with 3 extra sets of hands. One set of, I'm going to call these cradle hands for cradling weapons. And there's a left and a right one. Nice molded details, just like Swarm Troopers always have. Off of that Swarm Trooper mold. And he comes with a left and a right C grip. Again, nice molded details. All the hands are on in and out hinges. And here's the other C grip. And lastly, we have a set of fists. Again, nice molded details and in and out hinges. And let's see, we'll start with the small weapons. Here we have that, I guess it's a standard issue swarm pistol, except this one has the red highlights on it. Nice molded details. And here's his knife. Nice silver paint app for the handle, and then it's all molded in that black plastic, I believe. And then here is that rifle that the swarm troopers came with too. I'm sure this is based on a real weapon. I don't know my real weapons anymore, not in military grade at least. Not always home defense grade either. But nice mold nonetheless, and it does have some red highlight paints on it. And here we have a nice red translucent diamond plate Action Force stand. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4 pegs on it, just like all the Action Force stands do. And then it does have a slot here in the back, which I'm assuming you can put, I guess you could put a background in if you wanted to, but what I'm assuming that they are for is for the file cards once you cut them out from the packaging. And here we also have that nice energy shield that we first saw in the Swarm Gear pack, except this one is red. And again, same thing with the winged backpack here. We first saw it in the Swarm Gear pack. And you know, something else, we saw this in the Swarm Gear pack too, I believe. But the difference, the colors are different. It does have this paint app down here. The wings are red. It's missing the Swarm logo right here. It does have some nice silver paint apps there. On this side, still got some nice molded details. And then there's the post that plugs into the figure's back. And then you notice this indentation around the post is so that it fits around that outcropping on the backpack. At least I'm going to call it outcropping. I'm sure it has another name. Another better name. Now let's take a look at the figure himself. And the head is all new. And I'll have to say, rather than reminding me of Masters of the Universe Horde, or even the Horde Trooper, it more reminds me of Ultron from the Marvel Universe comic. Well, even the movie version there a little bit. But it has much more of an Ultron look to me. Again, that's my opinion. Your mileage, of course, may vary. Now, something else, and it's hard to notice this just by looking at it. Even right here, you can't really tell. But this red here is translucent. The head is probably all made of translucent plastic. But this part right here is just, it's molded in that red plastic rather than painted. So it is translucent there, but where the paint apps are, it is not. It is, you can't see through it. So I just thought that was a pretty cool thing. Then we have the Swarm logo here, some red highlights here, some silver for the buckles and stuff on this belt and leg straps, and then some red highlights here on the legs. Everything else seems to mostly be molded in plastic. in the plastic color. Now the black may be a paint app here on the arm where it's mostly gray, and then the same here, and then this gray may be the paint where this is mostly black, and you just see that kind of stuff all over the figure where the large swaths are molded in color. And then it does have some highlight paint apps, like here, these red highlights here. And then there's the outcropping on the backpack that the jump pack, jet pack, wing pack, whatever you want to call it, fits over that. Well, let's take a look at the figure's articulation. Wow. He looks up that far. Good for flying. He looks down that far. Ooh, he's got some chicken neck in there. Swarm's having a rave later. He's got some waggle. He can do the full exorcist. And as you can see, it's on a ball and hinge joint there. At the shoulders, got butterfly joint, back that far, forward that far. 360-degree rotation. And also, let's see, the arm only raises up about that far. Now there is a cut here at the upper bicep that does allow for 360 degrees of rotation there. Double hinged pinless elbow, and it gives you that much bend. 360 degree rotation at the wrist, and these, the trigger finger hands, are on up and down hinges, and that's for both of them. So everything else is in and out hinges. There's a cut here where the chest and the abdomen meet, and then there's a ball joint here at the waist, and those joints work in conjunction to give you that much bend back, that much bend forward, bend left and right, and ooh, hula hula hula. You got all the hula. At this upper torso cut, he can do 360 degrees of rotation. At the waist cut, it's harder because the waist stuff is shaped, but it will do a full 360 degree rotation there as well. And then you might have a little issue getting him straightened all back up. At the hips, does have a drop down hinge, and it drops down that far. And with that hinge dropped down on both sides, he gives you that much of the splits. Kicks forward that far, way past 90. And kicks back that far. We'll call that 1, 2, 3 steps, maybe 4 steps. Cut here at the upper thigh, and it does give you a full 360 degrees worth of rotation. Double hinged pinless knee. Gives you that much bend, so wow. And nothing at the shin. At the ankles, tilts down that far, tilts up that far, and it does have forward facing pin for rocker. Now, as far as his accessories go, I will say this: I'm glad that this guy came with basically the Swarm gear pack, and it wasn't something that you had to purchase separately for this guy in this particular color scheme. As far as his storage goes, his knife, there's a sheath right there on the back of his belt. It goes right in there. Stays in there fairly securely through friction. His pistol, he can hold it in his hand, but for storage purposes, it does go in the holster here on the side, and it kind of snaps down in there, or at least mine did. And again, held in place by friction pretty well. Now next, the backpack. Of course, it just goes on his back. Before you want to try and stick that on there, you want to line up the ports. There's a port in the harness here and in the figure as well, because that is a pretty long post because this sticks out so far, and you want to just make sure those are lined up when you go to trying to put this on. And sometimes it can be a pain to get the harness lined up correctly to get the backpack all the way on the figure. As you can see, I'm having a little bit of issue here. Alright, see if handy dandy tweezers will help any. There we go. And it's all the way on there. Now the wings, just like the swarm gear, it does have set positions. This is the highest, this is the mid, that's the lowest. And then storage for the rifle, he just holds it in his hand. And I could be mistaken about this rifle coming with the swarm gear. It may have not come with the swarm gear. It may have come with the swarm trooper, and there's another rifle that comes with the swarm gear. It's been a while, and I don't exactly recall. And then as far as the shield goes, there's the handle, there's the hand. This is going to look kind of funky because you're holding it with the trigger finger hand rather than the C-grip hand. And he just kind of holds it at an angle with that, so it just makes him look a little more BA in my opinion. Well, there we have it, my friends, a look at the figure and his accessories. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have the Valaverse Action Force PowerCon exclusive Swarm Horde Trooper with the Action Force Swarm Trooper with Swarm Gear and the Action Force Scarab. Here we have the Valaverse Action Force PowerCon exclusive Swarm Horde Trooper with the G.I. Joe Classified Series Alley Viper and the G.I. Joe Classified Series Crimson Guard. For our final set of comparisons, here we have the Valaverse Action Force PowerCon exclusive Swarm Horde Trooper with, from the Marvel Legends series, making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee. From the G.I. Joe Classified series, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander. From Star Wars The Black Series, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper, and for a 7-inch comparison, from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final thoughts on the PowerCon exclusive Valaverse Action Force Swarm Horde Trooper, I have to say, I do really like the deco on this guy. I just like the design of this guy. No matter how many times they redeco the Swarm Trooper, I'm probably going to pick it up. Especially in a case like this where it comes as a complete set with the what would traditionally be thought of as the Swarm gear. Now there was one exclusive version of this I missed out on last year. Or maybe it was year before. I don't remember. But yeah, that's okay. The Wasp. I think it was the Wasp. But that's okay. I got this guy. I got the regular one. I got the Swarm Sentry. And they're all pretty cool. Now, as far as the new head goes, like I said earlier in the review, it really strikes me, it looks more Ultron-esque than it does Horde Trooper or Evil Horde in general. But that's just my opinion. Your opinion, of course, may vary. Your mileage may vary, and that's fine. No problemo. I do, however, wish that there were a couple more accessories included with this guy, like a version of the shield that was just the Swarm logo without the energy effect around it, and like where it would store on the backpack, maybe, or on the jetpack, the wing pack, whatever you want to call that, you know, so that it could be in a powered up or a powered down mode. And the other one, the other accessory that I wish had been included with this is an alternate head sculpt that is the Swarm Trooper, the standard Swarm Trooper head, but in the Swarm Horde colors. Other than that, this is a fantastic figure. It's still available as of this recording on the Valaverse website, and you can order it off there if you really want this guy. And if you really want this guy, I do recommend that you probably should go ahead and pick it up before it sells out, because there's no telling if or when this figure will be available again outside of a con, because I'm sure they've got some stored just in case for any cons that they're going to sell there. Well, that does it for the review. I hope that you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view that I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you'd like to see more reviews, or just help the channel out further, or both, that's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.